Hello, it's your boy Peyton Jacobo, and welcome to Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. Today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the iconic hero of New York City, was once just an ordinary high school student named Peter Parker. After being bitten by the radioactive spider during a school field trip, Peter gained incredible arachnid. I don't know that word, but I don't know it. I'm just not going to say it. Like abilities, including superhuman strength, agility, and ability to cling to walls. Guided by the wise words of his Uncle Ben, Peter learned that with great power comes great responsibility, and he vowed to use his newfound powers to protect the innocent and fight crime. Donning a red and blue costume and armed with his web shooters, Peter became the masked villain known as Spider-Man. Juggling his dual identity, Peter faced a myriad of challenges, from battling supervillains like the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Venom, to balancing his personal life with his responsibilities as a hero. Despite the hardships, Spider-Man remains a beacon of hope for the people of New York City, always ready to swing to action and save the day. Right there, I'm gonna say is right now the only thing I could see on my prompter, because I can't find any more of this. So, guys, just wait right here. Right here, we're going to need you to hold here because of technical difficulties. So please stay here and keep listening to Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. We are back due to that technical difficulties from the prompter. We are back into action of Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. I got a new prompter, and we promise you there will be no interruptions and no technical difficulties. Spider-Man is a beloved superhero created by writer Stan Lee and artist Steve Ditko from Marvel Comics in 1962. The character, also known as Peter Parker, gained popularity through comics, TV shows, and movies. The Spider-Man movies have seen several iterations, including the Tobey Maguire era in the early 2000s, the Andrew Garfield era in the 2010s, and the Tom Holland era, which began in the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) with Captain America: Civil War in 2016. Each iteration offers a unique take on the character's origin story, relationships, and villains. The comics, spanning decades, have explored various aspects of Peter Parker's life, from his struggles with balancing his personal life and superhero responsibilities to his iconic rogues gallery of villains like Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Venom. The character's enduring appeal lies in his ability as he grapples with everyday challenges while doing the right thing with his extraordinary abilities. Well, it's time for break time. Well, Superhero Vision will be right back after this break. Do 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 do. Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man does. Welcome to Break Time with Peyton Jacobo. Right now you're watching the following episode of Peyton Jacobo's Spider-Man episode. Right now we're doing a break of this episode. If you haven't heard, you could go back onto the episode to see more of what's going on. But right now, welcome to Break Time, Break Time, Break Time! Fun fact, did you know the comics spanning decades have explored various aspects of Peter Parker's life, from his struggles with balancing his personal life and superhero responsibilities? And did you know the new Spider-Man is the new Tom Holland, who played in 2016 for the Captain America Civil War. And thank you for listening to Break Time. Break Time, Break Time, Break Time! We are back, fellas, with more Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. And right now, we have Robert Jacobo, our special guest. Hello, Robert Jacobo. What is it like today, right now?
It's good to join you, Peyton. I was overhearing all your talks about
Spider-Man?
About Spider-Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just want to get your opinion on what your favorite Spider-Man was.
The new movie was Across the Spider-Verse. That was my favorite. Due to the reason I want to see more of it.
So you're a big Miles Morales fan?
Yes, and I can't wait for part 2.
What do you think draws the new generation to Spider-Man? Is it his multiculturalism, the aspect of the animation, or some other thing?
The aspect of the animation.
You think the animation is what's doing the best for Spider-Man?
Yes, it definitely is.
What do you, Peyton, respect and admire the most about Spider-Man?
I am a big fan of Miles Morales, and I know what's like because Miles Morales got bitten by a radioactive spider, just like the normal Spider-Man, like the first one, and here's the thing: Spider-Man is It was an old thing, because it was old when it first came out. When it first came out, it was like a TV show, and was very old to begin with, right?
Yes, sir.
And when right now Across the Spider-Verse was a big hit, but then and then Beyond the Spider-Verse will happen, and anytime it happens, they said it was going to happen 2024 due to the last one beyond 2023. 2023 was when Across the Spider-Verse happened, but then before Across the Spider-Verse was Into the Spider-Verse was when it truly began. And they also had its own books.
So my thoughts about Miles Morales are recent audiences are drawn to Miles Morales, a character who made his debut in Marvel Comics in 2011 for several compelling reasons, right? First and foremost, Miles represents diversity and representation in superhero movies. You've never seen a black Spider-Man before, right?
No, but Miles Morales is.
Yeah, right? So as a biracial character of African American and Puerto Rican descent, right? Miles brings a fresh perspective to the superhero genre, right?
Yes.
Resonating with audiences who seek more inclusive and diverse stories.
It is.
So moreover, Miles possesses a unique set of powers and a distinct background compared to the original Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, you know? His abilities, which include bioelectrokinesis, that's electricity coming out of his hands.
Yeah.
And camouflage. You know how he can like kind of blend into the background?
Yeah.
Those add a new layer of excitement and intrigue to the Spider-Man mythos, you know? Audiences are captivated by his journey as he navigates these powers and learns to embrace his role as a hero. He's not a master of his abilities right away.
He is not.
Furthermore, Miles is a relatable and compelling character in his own right,
Yeah.
Like Peter Parker, he grapples with the challenges of adolescence, family expectations, and the weight of responsibility that comes with being a superhero.
Yeah.
His struggles with identity, belonging, and finding his place in the world resonates with audiences of all ages.
Yeah.
Because you're 10 years old.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old.
I'm a fresh 28 years old.
Yeah.
Both of us can really relate to Miles. Mm-hmm. So additionally, Miles' portrayal in various media, including animated films like Into the Spider-Verse, and they even have video games like Miles Morales' Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Has introduced him to a wider audience and showcased his charisma, wit, and heroism.
Yeah.
These portrayals have helped solidify Miles as a fan favorite character, which I could agree upon. Mm-hmm. Drawing in new audiences are eager to see more of his adventures, which I know both of us are. Mm-hmm. The cliffhanger to the last movie had us both dying.
Yes, when they said it was saying it was a to be continued.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. They were going to make a new movie about it, and it was like a cliffhanger. So, we had to really wait on what was going to happen next.
Well, we don't even know when the next movie's coming out.
Well, we do not know because they haven't told the release date to us.
They don't.
But here's the thing. They have their own... Spider-Man has its own video game made from Marvel that you can play on the PlayStation.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, where you can play as Spider-Man. It's literally popular due to the reason it's the PlayStation got to make a cool Spider-Man version of the console, which really they have their own books, they have their own TV shows and movies, and they have their own games.
You think that'll help satisfy audiences' desire for more Miles Morales while they're waiting on the new movie to come out?
Yeah, because
we don't have a release date yet. They still don't know when it's coming out.
They do not know. I think they're still working on the movie, right? Probably they're going when they're ready to release the movie, they gotta tell us the release date first.
Yep, we're all waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When you see the teaser trailer, you're going to see the month of when it's coming out. Or they're going to say the year first and, won't remember, what month and what date that's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you see a teaser trailer that says 2024, that means they're, still working on what month it's going to happen. So, when they said the whole entire release date, then that means on that single day of the release date, then the movie comes out.
Yeah, I don't really see it happening until 2025, honestly.
Yeah, because I think they delayed it probably for 2025 instead of 2024. Because I heard that delay on something else, because I was looking at something else and it was saying it was going to come out 2023 when it was supposed to come out and when it came out 2024 instead.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath waiting on that to happen. I think we're going to get it in mid 2025.
I really want to see what's next. I think the audience who's watching this episode is really wanting to see it too. And when we see that cliffhanger come out, to be continued, you are dying for to see more of it.
Yeah.
When it comes out, and you're really wanting to know what's going to come out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that one. So, in conclusion, Miles Morales captivates recent audiences due to his representation, unique powers, relatable character traits, and captivating portrayals in various forms of media, right? Mm-hmm. As a symbol of diversity, inclusivity, and heroism, Miles Morales has rightfully earned his place as a beloved and iconic superhero in the hearts of fans worldwide. We can't get enough of it. Mm-hmm.
People really want to see, more of it. Because Spider-Man is very popular superhero. It has its own simulator coaster at Orlando and at Hollywood and in Japan. By the way, right now we we know what's going on because we really are dying for a new one. Like Beyond the Spider-Verse, that's upcoming, and each movie is having new characters in it, right? Right, Robert?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, like because in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, we get to meet the new villain in the story, which we never ever seen. Which we have a new villain that we never seen before. What was his name? Miguel Hera? I think it was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was the new villain, and I never seen him. I got because the villains were Green Goblin, Venom, and such more. But I did when that movie came out and we saw it, we saw new characters coming in, and we saw a new villain coming in, which really. Here's the thing. This is going to contain a spoiler. Oh. So please, if you haven't watched the movie yet, you should not listen to this part because this one is a spoiler. In Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the character sends Miles Morales, the villain sends Miles Morales into a new the dimension, but it's a wrong dimension. Remember where he gets sent to a different dimension and not in his dimension?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, because he was sent to a different one, and then the mom notices that she doesn't know Spider-Man. She does not know Spider-Man.
Well, she doesn't know. There is no Spider-Man in that
universe.
There was
no Spider-Man in that universe because Spider-Man never existed in that
the Spider
universe.
Went from the wrong universe into Miles' universe.
Yeah, if Miles was in his the same home, but not in the wrong dimension, then they would be surprised by it and would know Spider-Man, because. In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales died, the first one. Remember that part where that guy tries to kill Miles Morales, the first one? Well, not Miles Morales, Peter Parker. Peter Parker was dead, but then there was another one coming from a different universe. So basically, it came to Miles' universe, which he was another Miles Morales, because the second Miles, the second Peter Parker did not know that the first one was dead.
Mm-hmm.
He did not know himself was dead. So then that meant that Peter Parker was from a different dimension and came from that's his same dimension to a different one, which was Miles' dimension. And then Miles found him.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, when I see Across the Spider-Verse, I heard there was a to be continued. So basically, we really want to see more. But they're probably going to make it in 2025, I guess. Right?
Yeah. So now, not everything is perfect in the Spider-Man universes, right?
Yeah.
Let's go over some criticisms of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, as we've all seen the Spider-Man movies, and what do they all start with? They all start with the origin story.
The origin story. Yeah.
So, some critics have argued that Spider-Man movies, particularly the early ones, right?
Yeah.
Spend too much time retelling the origin story of Peter Parker, which was a nice change of pace. Whenever Tom Holland's Spider-Man, we didn't really get an origin story. He started out in Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
So we kind of got him as he was already Spider-Man. He'd already been dealing with some stuff. We didn't have to see him. His Uncle Ben died or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was in Across the Spider-Verse, we heard that there was this thing where whoever be part of
whoever's Spider-Man, they lose someone close to them, right?
They lose someone close to them, and really they really had to see it.
And Miles hasn't had anyone close to him die yet, correct?
Yeah.
So he hasn't had that canon event.
yeah, it was part of the canon event for like other Spider-Mans, but then Miles Morales does not have a canon event, like, right?
Correct, yeah. So there's also the villain overload, right?
Yeah.
Some Spider-Man movies have had too many villains.
Too many.
Too many storylines going on. Which I feel like, honestly, the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, those movies really didn't have that much, I would say, crowded space in the movies.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job with the villains that they did use, and they also use unconventional villains, like in the second movie, the guy with all the dots on him, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a great choice.
Yeah, like, he was part of Across the Spider-Verse, but Into the Spider-Verse was when it first started, like, Miles Morales being, like another Spider-Man, but, like, that was when Into the Spider-Verse came out.
Oh, so we got to see Kingpin for the first time?
Yes, and we saw the guy with the dots on him, Spot. His name was Spot, and he was... Basically, there's two villains, actually, in Across the Spider-Verse. One was Spot, which is going to be the villain of Beyond the Spider-Verse. But then that means that the one we saw in Across the Spider-Verse, the one who wanted to defeat Miles Morales, really isn't going to be part of Beyond the Spider-Verse. So basically, it means that the only villain who's going to be part of Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be Spot. Because Spot...
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because they still have Evil Miles in the alternate universe, right?
Yeah.
Miguel Herrera.
Yes. There was another Miles who was basically evil. Evil.
He was he kind of played the same role as the uncle did in the first movie.
Yeah, like in the first one, the evil Miles was the Prowler. He was the Prowler.
It was, yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Good job.
and we got to see the same guy who died in the first movie.
His uncle?
Yes. He was then in the second movie.
Yep.
So we might see Evil Miles in the Beyond Spider-Verse, like, when it comes out.
Exactly. So this doesn't really apply to the new Spider-Man movies, but the lack of diversity in casting.
Yeah.
The earlier Spider-Man movies received criticisms for their lack of diversity in casting, particularly in the portrayal of Peter Parker. The character was traditionally depicted as a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Which some argue limited opportunities for representation. So we don't really have to deal with that with the new movies.
Actually, there's one thing I like to ask, actually.
Yeah, sure.
Spot was actually in the first movie, actually. We see him get hit with a bagel, which was, like, in the second movie, Spot brings a recap back to the first movie, where he was hit with a bagel, and then basically he was the villain just because he got hit by a bagel. And then when I saw that, he was trying to tell Miles Morales that he was basically trying to, like, make him look like a villain.
Yep.
So Miles Morales made a villain on accident. So basically he didn't know that, because in the first movie he was just running while he hit him with a bagel. So the one who got hit with the bagel was Spot.
Yep.
So because he was telling us the recap in Across the Spider-Verse. And remember when he got, like, into different dimensions, that means that he could, like, his body was full of, like, things that could teleport him wherever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, so he's going to be this, so there's a bunch of villains just coming out of nowhere, like, appearing in the story, you know?
Yep.
I keep seeing, like, a bunch of villains appearing from the story, and then that means we have in the Across the Spider-Verse, we made one villain out of the story, which was the one who really wanted to defeat Miles Morales, but yet we still have the evil Miles, who was the Prowler. And then that means we have Spot too. So we have like, how many villains do we have? Like 2 villains?
At least 2 or 3.
I think we had 2 villains in the story.
So moving on to the depiction of female characters in the films, right?
Yeah.
Some critics argue that certain Spider-Man movies have underdeveloped or stereotypical portrayals of female characters, such as Mary Jane Watson or Gwen Stacy. Now, in the new Spider-Man movies, Gwen Stacy is...
Yeah. There was like, okay, in the first movie, we see the normal Gwen Stacy, who was not like the Spider-Man one, but we found her in the school in the first movie, where Miles Morales' hand gets stuck in her hair, and then they had to get and then they both need to get it out of her hair, and then her hair basically got ripped off because of his hand, and then basically we find out that in the first movie, Miles Morales sees that his foot is stuck onto the floor, and then on the ceiling, then that would mean that he was another Spider-Man. But basically, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, too, and Miles Morales are really opposite, because here's the thing. Miles Morales' Spider-Man suit is basically black, and then if you go to Peter Parker, his suit is red. So basically their suits are opposite from each other.
It's very honestly, that's a nice little...
like when you think about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then...
well, if you think about it, the first Spider-Man movie would be Miles' movie, right?
Yes, Miles.
So a lot of people could argue that the second movie was Gwen Stacy's movie. The movie opens with Gwen Stacy.
Yes.
Gwen Stacy is the hero. She's the one that's standing at the end. At the end of the movie, Miles is tied up and he's in a tough spot, right?
Yes.
And Gwen Stacy is the one that's going to bring the other Spider people together to help rescue Miles.
Like the whole entire Spider-Man people.
We're talking Spider-Pig.
Remember the Black Spider-Man?
Noir Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're all hoping that John Mulaney comes back as the voice of Spider-Pig.
Oh my gosh. Wait, John Mulaney is Spider-Pig.
Yeah, but we hope he comes back for it.
We saw him, I saw him in the end of the Across the Spider-Verse thing when we saw the cliffhanger.
Oh, that's true, we did see that.
We saw him, so we might know that Spider-Pig is going to be here. But I hope it's the same actor. I hope it's the same actor as Spider-Pig from the first one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be... I think we're pretty. That's a pretty solid.
And here's one thing: we saw every Spider-Man in the universe, also known as the Spider Society, right?
Oh yeah, they did not want Miles part of that.
They did not want Miles part of that because of the canon event. Because every Spider-Man in the Spider Society has a canon event, and Miles Morales is the only one who can't be allowed because he was the one with no canon event. He had no canon event in this story. So basically that means he wasn't allowed in the Spider Society because he signed up to be Spider-Man, like the villain said. And basically, I'm just saying that I know how much it, like everybody in the Spider Society knows that Gwen Stacy is basically like it's Gwen Stacy's movie in Across the Spider-Verse because it started with her, right? We saw some parts in the story have like flashbacks in the first one where we saw her doing that, and then we saw Gwen Stacy trying to like talk about the story in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Miles Morales was the first one in the Into the Spider-Verse, and then the second movie was Gwen Stacy. Basically, because Miles Morales is like Into the Spider-Verse, we know that's going to be Miles' story, because it's basically the thing where Miles was going to see, Miles basically knows that he's he's stuck onto the every part of the room he sees, and then he notices that he might be the other Spider-Man. But basically, there was more Spider-Man than that. There was more of Spider-Man. Basically, because we see that there's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Gwen Stacy. Basically, there's more Spider-Pig. Remember the robot and the girl? They were also the one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the girl robot.
Yeah, the girl with the robot sees his. The girl also has a canon event. During the movie. We finally know that the girl sees her robot dying in the first movie, and she was crying about it, but then they were still be able to fix the robot. So then that meant the robot was gonna be fixed again. But when you saw when they were trying to exit from the dimension, they were trying to exit from falling to the bottom of it. So basically they at the end of the movie, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Robert, I meant. Basically, at the end of the movie of Into the Spider-Verse, we see that that cliffhanger, but we don't see the to be continued sign. Basically, before the credits of the movie, we see that Spider-Man, Miles Morales, the black one, Miles Morales, tries to chill listening to the music, I think it was Sunflower, by Miles. No, Post Malone, Sunflower, remember that song from Into the Spider-Verse?
Sure.
That was the music from the end of the ending part of the movie. We see that then there was this dimension, also known as a portal, appears, and then we hear Gwen Stacy talking to Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm. That leads into the sequel.
That leads into Across the Spider-Verse. So is there anything you want to say, Daddy? Well, I meant Robert.
Should we close out this conversation?
Yes, we should. Closing comments.
Okay, I appreciate that. So in closing, I feel like the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies have brought a refreshing and dynamic new perspective to the beloved superhero franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Through the lens of Miles Morales, audiences have been treated to compelling storytelling, vibrant animation, and a powerful message of diversity and inclusion. These films have not only expanded the Spider-Man mythos, but also resonated with viewers of all backgrounds, inspiring a new generation of fans. Because you weren't really into Spider-Man until the new Spider-Man movies, right?
Yeah, when you see the new movie come out, then that means you're going to get more of it.
Yeah, so my generation had the Spider-Man cartoons and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, right?
Yes. Oh, and there was basically more. They had books, but then back in the day, they had comic books.
Yeah, that's when it all started out.
Yeah.
But there was a big middle ground there where we kind of all fell off of Spider-Man until the new ones came out.
Yeah.
So with their innovative approach to storytelling, memorable characters, and groundbreaking animation, and most importantly, the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies have firmly cemented their place as modern classics in the superhero genre.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say enough about them. Those are classics.
Yeah, we are finally going to have break time, and now, thank you, Robert.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Robert, it's very nice of you to come onto the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Yes, we will be back after this break. Superhero Vision will be back after this break for break time, and then we'll talk about more of this back when the break is done. So Superhero Vision will be back after this break. Break time, break time, break time. Welcome to break time. Break time, break time, break time. Right now, you probably heard about the more comments section where me and my dear friend, Robert Jacobo, talked about a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. But right now, we will need to take a break, because after this, just me, will be talking about more. But don't worry, if you didn't really want, I bet you would want to listen to more. But don't worry, we'll do it right now on this break. Fun fact, did you know Tom Holland was in No Way Home? And he was also in Captain America Civil War. Basically, right now Spider-Man, also known as Tom Holland, is probably having a good time right now. Fun fact, Spider-Man has its own simulation coaster in Universal Orlando Resort. You can also find that ride in Hollywood in Japan. If you live in any of those locations, please note that you could go to Universal, but basically you will have to pay for it. But don't worry, you'll get right on the spot. But you don't want to listen to these simulation coaster stuff. You can listen to our Spider-Man stuff right here on on Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. And thank you for listening to Break Time. Break Time, Break Time, Break Time. We are back, people. I hope you guys don't be mad about the break time again, but if you hear more break time, don't be mad at us. We will appreciate your feedback, but if it's bad feedback, we will be definitely sorry about that feedback. But don't worry, we will make sure. But we are back with no more break time, because this will be the last time you will be listening more. This will be more of the closing comments from the Spider-Man episode. And when I'm done with this, we will end the episode, and we will there will be definitely more break time. Just one more break time. I finally say it. One more break time. So we're going to be talking about some movies of Spider-Man. Okay? There is Spider-Man from 2002. The first one. It is directed by Sam Raimi. And starring Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Peter Parker who played Spider-Man. This film explores Peter's transformation into the iconic superhero after being bitten by a genetically altered spider. It also introduces his love interest, Mary Jane Watson, played by Kirsten Dunst, and his nemesis, the Green Goblin, played by William Dafoe. Okay, Spider-Man 2 from 2004. Also directed by Sam Raimi, who directed the first Spider-Man movie. The sequel sees Peter struggling to balance his responsibilities as Spider-Man with his personal life, while facing off against the villainous Dr. Octopus, played by Alfred Molina. Guys, also, if you guys remember, this had spoilers in it, and you don't watch this, please do not watch more of this episode, because this is definitely going to have spoilers in it. I should have started it from the beginning of the warning, but from the first part of the episode, but don't worry. Just listen to this. The sequel sees Peter struggling to balance his responsibilities as Spider-Man with his personal life, all facing off against... Oh, wait, did I just say that? Duh. Spider-Man 3, which was in 2007. The second one was in 2004. The final... I'm talking about Spider-Man 3. The final installment in Sam Raimi's trilogy. This film delves into Peter's dark side as he grapples with the influence of an alien symbiont while facing new villains, including Sandman, played by Thomas Hayden Church, and Venom, played by Topher Grace. 4, which is The Amazing Spider-Man, which was the first one, but it was like a second part of the series, which came out in 2012. 1 year before I was born, actually. I was born in 2013, but this came out 2012. Directed by Mark Webb and starring Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield played as Spider-Man, actually, too. This reboot explores Peter's origins, kind of like an origin story, and his relationship with Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone. Also, Emma Stone. Gwen Stacy was actually into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse when you heard me talking with Peyton Jacobo. Okay. While facing off against the Lizard, played by Ralph Fiennes. Also, there's more, which is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was the second part of the second sequel, which was in 2014. The sequel to Mark Webb's reboot, this film sees Peter continuing to navigate his responsibilities as Spider-Man while facing new threats, including Elektra, played by Jamie Foxx, and the Green Goblin, played by Danny DeHaan. 6, which is Spider-Man Homecoming, which was in 2017, directed by John Watts and starring Tom Holland, which I talked about in break time, as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. You can also find him in No Way Home, actually, which came out in 2021, which I definitely saw in theaters. Which you should see it when it's already on demand, and it's already on demand. By the way, where's I at? This film takes place within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, and follows Peter as he balances high school life with his superhero duties, facing off against the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Also, Spider-Man Far From Home, which is 2019, came out 2019. The sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, which came out in 2017, this film follows Peter as he goes on a school trip to Europe, only to be recruited by Nick Fury to battle new threats, including the villain Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't really know his last name, but I know his first name. 8, which is the last one, not the last one, but It's Spider-Man No Way Home that came in 2021. The latest installment in the MCU, which is means latest installment, which latest means new. MCU, this film sees Peter's life turned upside down when his secret identity is revealed, leading him to seek help from Doctor Strange and confront villains with alternate realities. If you don't know what Doctor Strange is, he's like another superhero, if you didn't know, from the Avengers. Each Spider-Man movie offers a new unique take. Also, unique means special. Unique take on the character's story with different directors, actors, and interpretations, showcasing the enduring appeal of the iconic superhero. Well, that was the last list on my prompter. Don't worry, we're going to be doing break time, break time, break time, break time, break time. Welcome to break time, break time, break time, break time. Right now, we heard that this will be our last break time. By the way, when I mean the last break time, that would mean after that, then I would mean the last comments on the episode. Then that would mean the end of the episode. And then Sunday, we'll be talking about Superman. But right now, we're talking about Spider-Man. But Sunday, we will be talking, Saturday is when we talk about Spider-Man, due to the reason our schedule has been acting a little funky. When it's supposed to be on Sunday, but then it's going to be on Saturday. So we had a little technical difficulties on the schedule. But don't worry, we're going Saturday, which is tomorrow, we will be talking about Superman. Not Spider-Man, Superman. But right now, let's talk about break time on break time. Right now, you probably wonder what it's like in the house. Which basically, you probably know I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. So I basically have a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse poster. And now I also have a Marvel calendar. And I also have a poster of the comics, which one is that the Amazing Spider-Man comic, which is Spidey Saves the Day, the end of the Green Goblin. Basically, we heard you love hearing our stuff. Well, you really want to hear about Spider-Man and you want to see the lore, but basically, you just can't. If you haven't watched a lot of the movies yet and you want to hear spoilers, basically, please know that this episode is going to have spoilers in it. Continuing will have spoilers. Every one of these episodes will have spoilers in it. We will have a bunch of these, all of these spoilers. So if you are listening to this when you don't know the movies and you really want to hear them, basically don't listen to this episode. And if you don't watch every movie, but if you can't watch it, but if you watch every single Spider-Man movie, but you want to know more, you can basically listen to this episode. And basically, we want you to hear that Superhero Vision will be having episodes throughout Friday. Sorry, that was my TV playing because I didn't want to hear anything, but don't worry. We will have, Saturday is when we will do another one, another episode. But basically, if you want to listen to more of this, then you will have to listen that we will have a video episode tomorrow. We just gotta work a little bit harder on it. Cause this is going to be a little bit of a soft episode. Actually, no. Well, it's alright. But don't worry. Right now, break time is going to probably be the coolest part of the thing. Because right now, if you want to take a break from the Lord, then listen to Break Time on this episode, today's episode. But right now, we won't be having break time right now, for now. Because this is the last break time, and it's already ended. So, thank you for listening to the last break time right now on today's episode. But don't worry, we will have more of this break time on more of the episodes. Or you can listen to the more of the past break times. So please, thank you for listening to Break Time. Break time, break time, break time, break time. We are back, everybody. This is the last time you'll be hearing from us right now. It's for today, on Friday. Because this is the last, I mean it, last part of the episode. But don't worry. Saturday on tomorrow, we will post a video of the video episode. Basically, we love to hear more from us. You probably do. Oh, if you guys want to hear us if you want to listen to more, if you want to voice message us, you can voice message us on here. Basically, you could send a voice message to us of what other superhero should we talk about? For real. Really. What superhero do you want us to talk about next? All the lore about it. Because we will talk about all the lore. But, right now, next time, we will talk about Superman tomorrow. So basically, stay tuned for that. And right now, we were so happy for us to talk about the Spider-Man. Because right now, we won't just be talking about the movie, the movies. Right for now. We will be talking about the comic books for it. Let's hear it. Okay, I got all my stuff on the prompter. Spider-Man comic books have been a staple of the Marvel the comics lineup since his debut in Amazing Fantasy number 15 in 1962, which is a long time. Created by writer Stan Lee, who is very old and he is dead. But don't worry, we don't need to worry about that. It's no longer happening now. And artist Steve Ditko, Spider-Man, also known as Peter Parker, quickly became one of the Marvel's most popular and enduring characters. The comics explore Peter Parker's journey from a shy, nerdy high school student to a responsible hero grappling with the challenges of adulthood. Central to Spider-Man's appeal are his relatable struggles with personal relationships, financial difficulties, and the moral dilemmas of being a superhero. Throughout the decades, Spider-Man has faced a colorful array of villains, including iconic foes like the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Venom, and the Sandman. These advisories test Spider-Man's resolve and ingenuity, often pushing him to his limits both physically and emotionally. Spider-Man's supporting cast is equally memorable, featuring characters like Mary Jane Watson, Peter's love interest, Aunt May, his nurturing guardian, and J. Jonah Jameson, the inscrutable editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle, which was like a TV it was like about the news, like newspapers, like that. The comics have explored various themes, such as power and responsibility, loss and redemption, and the importance of perseverance in the face of advisory. Spider-Man's enduring popularity has led to numerous spin-off series, alternate universes, and crossover events, further expanding the rich tapestry of his world. Over the years, different writers and artists have put their own spin on the character, offering fresh perspectives and iterations while staying true to Spider-Man's core values, and iconic traits. Whatever swinging through the streets of New York City, teaming up with fellow heroes in the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man continues to captivate readers with his wit, courage, and his indomitable spirit. We will be right back for technical difficulties right now, because we are having technical difficulties with the prompter. We need more of the stuff, like we're going to need to talk about more. So just wait right here. We'll be right back after this technical difficulties from Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. Superhero Vision will be right back after this. We'll be right back after this technical difficulties break. We are back right now with we are back with more and more of this of Spider-Man episode. But don't worry, this is the last time. Just the last time. Last time. We're going to be talking about the Daily Bugle, which was the newspaper thing where, like right now, for now. The Daily Bugle is a fictional newspaper in the Marvel Universe, prominently featured in Spider-Man comics. It serves as a recurring setting and plot device, providing insight into the world of journalism and acting as a platform for characters that interact with one another. Led by the bombastic and outspoken J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle is known for its sensationalist headlines and hard-hitting investigative reporting. Jameson, the newspaper publisher and editor-in-chief, has a long-standing vendetta against Spider-Man, whom he often portrays as a menace in the pages of the Bugle. The Bugle's newsroom is populated by a colorful cast of characters, including reporters like Peter Parker, who occasionally freelances for the paper, photographers like Peter's alter ego, Spider-Man, and supporting staff members. These characters provide a backdrop for the daily struggles and truths of the newspaper industry, as well as opportunities for drama, humor, and intrigue. The Daily Bugle's coverage of Spider-Man reflects the ongoing debate within the Marvel Universe about the nature of heroism, vigilism, and public perception. While some citizens view Spider-Man as a hero, others influenced by the Boogle's negative reporting see him as a dangerous villain who causes more harm than good. Despite its portrayal as a tabloid-style newspaper, the Daily Bugle occasionally tackles serious issues and serves as a voice for truth and justice in a city plagued by crime and corruption. Its reporters and editors are depicted and as dedicated professionals striving to uncover the truth and hold those in power accountable. Overall, the Daily Bugle is an integral part of the Spider-Man mythos, adding depth and realism into the world of the comics while serving as a foil for the titular hero and his allies. Its presence underscores the complex interplay between media, politics, and popular culture in the Marvel Universe. Well, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am Peyton Jacobo, and you were listening to today's episode called Spider-Man on Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. I am happy that I got to hang out with you guys because we hope you enjoyed the lore of today's lore. If you enjoyed the lore, then you basically were a big fan of us. You better we have a 5-star rating actually for today, and we want you to rate us 5-star, or you can rate us whatever you want. If you hated us about the lore and didn't want to listen to our lore, please give us a 1-star if you think that's the reason. But if you loved our lore and wanted to hear the lore, please give us a 5-star. And if you think it's wonderful, think about that, because that will be a 5-star. So please, thank you for coming on to here. And thank you for listening to Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. And thank you for listening to today's episode called Spider-Man. Thank you, and we will be right back on the next episode of Superman. Coming back on tomorrow's day, which is Saturday. So please, if you want to listen to it again, or you want a new member to listen to our lore who really loves Spider-Man and wants to hear the lore, please, let's make them listen to our lore, because our lore has all the great stuff. Or actually, don't let them listen if they're spoiling in here. You can't let people hear our spoiling. Spoiling is just not a good thing. So please, thank you for listening to Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We will be right back on Saturday. Superhero Vision with Peyton Jacobo.